Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, 8600 Miles Strong. My name is Bernadette and thank you for being here with me today. I'm happy to finally found time to sit down and film this video because I will be talking about something that's very important, a little bit technical, but it's probably one of the main reasons why I created this YouTube channel in the first place. I will talk about how to file your K-1 or Fiancé Visa. A little bit of a background. I'm originally from the Philippines. My now husband is from the United States, in California specifically. And 2 years ago, we decided it's time for me to move. Now, I'm not an immigration expert and I don't know the timeline of K-1 visa versus a spouse visa where you guys should be married before applying for the visa. But based on the website, it's the same timeline. But at the end of the day, it's a case-to-case basis. It really depends on the accuracy of your application and the different, circumstances that you are in. So it might be the quickest. In my experience, it took us, it took us about 10 months in total for the whole K-1 visa application to be completed. So that means from the beginning of the application to the time that I was able to move to the United States, it took us 10-11 months, give or take. First things first, who is eligible to apply or to file for a K-1 visa? So the full name of this is actually Petition for K-1 Fiancé Visa. And it's called a petition because there has to be a petitioner. The petitioner or sponsor, as they are called, is the U.S. citizen. The last time I checked, only U.S. citizens are allowed to apply or file for a K-1 visa. And the petitioner and the alien beneficiary or fiancé, both of you guys should be eligible to marry under United States law. And that means both of you are 18 and above and never been married or single, been married but legally divorced or annulled. And if you're a widow or widower, you should be able to provide death certificates or documentations that you are eligible to marry again. So that's the main rule. The second one is the petitioner has to be able to prove his or her citizenship. It doesn't matter if they're born here or they're naturalized, as long as they can provide the documentation to prove their citizenship, and that is birth certificate, naturalization documents, and latest valid U.S. passport. Aside from that, you will also be required to submit a letter of intent. So the letter of intent basically says that both of you are of legal age, eligible to marry, and intend to marry each other within the 90-day period that the government is giving you once the alien beneficiary or the fiancé gets to the United States. It's just a one-page letter. There are templates that you can use. It's very basic. There's nothing really very strict about it, as long as you're able to provide all the information that I just said and sign it personally and attach it to your application form. So let's go back to the application form. The application form is called I-129F, Petition for Alien Fiancé. All the forms, instructions, and latest procedures regarding visa can actually be found online. It's called the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. This is the government body that handles and reviews all visa applications, and their website is uscis.gov. I'm looking at it right now. They handle different visa, but I'm specifically talking about the K-1 visa. If you look at it, you will find the form that you need to download, specific instructions on how to fill it out. It's a long form. It's actually 13 pages. It will ask for basic personal information for both the petitioner and the beneficiary, including address history, employment history, criminal information, criminal background, and very important, the nature of your meeting. So it's a supplement page where you will have to describe the circumstances under which you met. You can download this form and write legibly with black ink, or you can use the computer and just type in, which is the better way to go because you can always review it before you can finally print it and make sure everything. I want to reiterate accuracy because it has to be accurate and complete when you file it. Otherwise, they will ask for additional documentation, and that means longer procedure, or worse, denial of your application. I'm a little bit of an OC, so I have a list of things that we need to do, but at the same time, my husband and I decided that we're gonna get help from professionals, and we hired a visa agency to help us look through our application and make sure that we're not missing out on any information. Our visa agency is called Rapid Visa. They are not immigration lawyers. They know all the procedures ins and outs, and it's just good to have like a third pair of eyes to look through your application before you finally submit it. It's not a requirement. It's totally doable if you have the time. The only thing for us was my husband, who's the petitioner who will file this, was very busy and worked long hours, and I wasn't here to help him yet. So we decided it's better to get some help. Otherwise, if you think you have the time to go through it and to make sure that everything is accurate and everything is by the book, then by all means you can do it on your own. You don't need to hire a professional for that. Okay, so aside from the form and the letter of intent that I just mentioned, you're also gonna attach latest, not longer than 6 months, color passport style photograph. If you're from the Philippines, that's going to be a 2x2. If you're from other countries, it's better to check it from the USCIS website if there's any requirements specific to your country of origin. This is very important. You have to provide proof of having met in the past 2 years. So basically what this means is the government wants to know that you have seen each other and been together physically in the past 2 years before filing your K-1 visa application. And what it does is to prove that, one, your relationship is legitimate and that you're not using the K-1 visa as a means to get citizenship. They are trying to weed out fixed marriages, as it's commonly known, and make sure that all the couples applying for the K-1 visa are genuinely together and genuinely intend to marry and build a family together. So that's what it's for. There's no specific amount of documents actually that you can provide to prove the legitimacy of your relationship, but that can be photos, boarding passes if you've traveled together, hotel receipts even. And in our case, I made like a book detailing like our journey together. My husband and I had been together for a couple of years before we decided that it's time to file for the visa. So we're lucky enough that we're able to provide photos from different countries with different timelines and things like that. So it's easier for us to show them that we have photos with family on special occasions like that, photos of vacation. And again, there's corresponding plane tickets and boarding passes with dates that are matching. So that's undeniably, a proof that you're together and you're legitimately in a relationship. Aside from that, of course, this is very important. The filing fee back in 2018 is $535. I'm trying to look right now on the filing fees. If it's up to date for 2020, let me pull it up real quick. Okay, it's still $535 apparently. So this is a one-time application fee for the K-1 visa, but again, there's other fees that you have to pay along the process. This is the first step, and this is the longest waiting period. So once the petitioner files it, then it's going to be a couple of months of wait, and then you will receive the notice of approval, and then you will have to do your visa interview in the Embassy of the United States in the Philippines. But I will talk about that in another video. I don't want to overwhelm you with all the information, and I want it to be as clear as possible.